Hey, can we get an update on Desean Jackson and also your thoughts on whether the injury could have had anything to do with missing the entire preseason and some of the preseason off-season workouts?
Yeah, Desean has a pulled hamstring. Obviously, he'll be out 3 to 4 weeks. Possibly it could be shorter, but you never know with hamstrings. And, you know, I don't know if it had a lot to do with him missing. It could very well have, you know, but we don't know that. He just went for a deep ball and pulled it. But obviously you like to have guys all throughout training camp, but the shoulder limited him. But he was still able to do a lot of running in that time, so I don't think it really did. I think it's just one of those things that happen to a wide receiver now and then.
And Duke Ihenacho as well, please.
Yeah, Duke is going to have surgery on his wrist. It's a fracture dislocation, and we'll have to decide whether to put him on IR or not shortly.
That'd be short-term IR or full season?
Oh, we got to decide that. Yeah, we're going to talk about that as soon as we get done here.
And can you talk about the depth behind him? Jerron Johnson's here, and you guys obviously use Trenton Robinson a bit.
Yeah, Trenton came in and played fairly well, and obviously we have Jerron, who's a veteran guy. You know, as a backup at Seattle, and he's got some playing time here. He missed a lot of camp with his hamstring issues too, but we're okay there. And obviously Kaishan has moved around and played some free and strong and nickel. So we have 3 other guys in place there that are capable to step up and play, and one of them will. It looks like it could be Trenton, it could be Kaishan, could be Jerron. You know, all 4 of them will probably play, including obviously Golston.
What went into the decision to cut Kai Forbath today?
I think, you know, Kai's a good kicker for us for a few years now. Very accurate, obviously inside of 40, but I think moving forward, you look at the total package, what a kicker needs to bring to your football team, and we're looking for a little bit of a stronger leg, especially on kickoffs. And that's the bottom line. And, you know, we got 16 regular season games. We're down 0-1, and we just think for the long haul, we'd like to get some better kickoffs, and we think that the new kicker can, if he can be close to him in accuracy on field goals, I think the kickoffs will put him over the edge as far as being a little bit better.
Jay, on the throw in which Desean was injured, from your vantage point or understanding, was the throw on point but it fell incomplete because Desean pulled up or had the injury, or was it overthrown?
I think it was a great throw. You know, anytime you can roll to your right and overthrow Desean Jackson, it's a great throw. I think he did pull up. I think he got a little bit tangled up with Grimes. It was a double move. It was a come back and go, and I think as he was releasing to go down the sideline, he got a little bit tangled up, which slowed him up, and then he saw the ball and took off, and that's when he pulled it. So had he not pulled it, would he have caught it? I don't know, but I thought it was an excellent throw.
Jay, will you need to make a roster move to clear a spot for Rashad Breeland returning?
Yes, we will, and that'll take place here shortly.
Going back to Desean, if you can talk about the impact of losing a guy like that, and just because you guys want to use a lot of the deep play action, all that, which he is a big part of. So how do you replace somebody with what you want to do with him, with what you want to do?
Yeah, I mentioned that at the post-game conference that anytime you lose a guy of his caliber, you know, he's one of our stars. You know, you hate to lose a star, and especially with his speed. You know, we feel good about the receivers that take his place, but nobody can substitute him for that burning speed that gets downfield and scares safeties and corners to death. You know, backs people up, and teams are a little bit tighter coverage when he's out of the game. Safeties can creep up a little bit, and you know, it's a big loss for us. He's a great player, no question about it. But now we're going to have to ask Ross to come in here and play, and Ryan Grant's going to have to step up, and Andre and Crowder.
Do you see, when he's on the field, do you even see the way teams play you guys against the run being different because of his presence?
Usually, but we only got to see him for about 6 plays, so you know, we weren't
I guess
sure.
more so last year even.
Yeah, we had an indication that Miami was going to play a lot of their coverages and roll to Desean, but we didn't get quite that tendency because he played only a few snaps.
Yesterday, a lot of the passing plays seemed just much shorter, more efficient routes. How much was that in part to losing Desean, and how much of that was just in the game plan?
It was a little bit of both, and they have a great pass rush. And we did take some shots down the field. Sometimes they played back, and Kirk had to check it down. So it was a combination of a lot of things. You know, we like to take shots throughout the course of a game, but when you lose your main shot weapon, it has a little bit of an impact. And not to mention, Cameron Wake and Sue going against our right side, who hasn't played together in a full game yet. So we wanted to try to protect Kirk, protect our right side. A little bit more of a conservative game plan than we lost Desean with all our deep shot plays that had a little bit of an impact. But later on, we did take some shots and didn't work out.
And
Kirk, how do you feel he graded out?
I think he played well. There's a couple plays I'm sure he wished he had back, but I think he was decisive with the ball. He took the one sack, which there's nothing he could do about it. But overall, I think he managed the game, moved our team when we needed to. We just didn't make enough plays for him, and it was unfortunate. I think our guys played hard in the running game. They competed. And I think everybody can play better, and we can coach them up a lot better also. But I feel good about Kirk's first game and where he's going as a pro.
Jay, given Kai's accuracy throughout his career here, and seeing how he was released today, there are some people saying that he's being made the scapegoat or the fall guy for yesterday. What would you say to those people?
That's funny. We're not making Kai a scapegoat, but that's insane. All we're trying to do is improve our kickoff cover team, and we're trying a young kicker who worked out here extremely well today, and that's the only reason.
I know the league has said they're not going to take any disciplinary action. Was there anything you saw that Sue did during the course of yesterday's game that you thought should result in some discipline? No, not really. I think it was a hard-fought game, and Coach Philbin, those guys, Coach Coyle on defense, those guys are good coaches, and they don't teach anything dirty. And just sometimes things happen in the course of a football game that look like they're dirty, but it's just part of the game. And a lot of respect for that football team and that staff, and they beat us. So I'm not going to make any accusations or anything today.
Jay, can you confirm the Dustin Hopkins signing? Have you completed that yet, or is that?
Yes.
That's completed. And then with Kai, did you need to see improvement from him on kickoffs over the summer? Did you expect it? And when it didn't happen, did that kind of?
Yeah, kind of. You look at the preseason games. It is what it is. We made a decision already, so I don't really want to talk about Kai. But we're looking for more consistent kickoffs, obviously, and give this young kid a chance that kicked out here very well today. That's the bottom line. We feel like he's a very successful kicker in college, and he made the Bills at one time and kicked well for New Orleans in the preseason. Now it's just we want to give him a shot here and see if we can improve our kickoff coverage. Yes, he's good. Oh, yeah.
What's he going to bring to the team? And obviously, D. Hall was gone for a little bit yesterday, too. What's that going to do for that unit, getting everybody back there?
It'll help. It'll help considerably. Rogers, is going to be questionable. He's got his foot issues, plantar fasciitis. But Breeland's a versatile guy. He can play corner, he can play nickel, and he brings a little level of toughness to our defense. He's a great tackler, plays physical, and loves the game, and competes his butt off. So he's a welcome addition back there. D. Hall has a sore ribs. He'll be okay, I think. And Compton should return, and Jeff Coates should be okay.
Sue and Wake were not on the stat sheet very much. I don't think Wake was on it at all, as a matter of fact. What about the job that your new right side that you mentioned earlier did against those two guys?
Yeah, like I said before, I think we had a pretty good plan going in, and to execute the plan, our right side had to step up against two very good players, and I think they did that for the most part. So I was impressed with the way Brandon played. I really was. For his first game, he performed extremely well, I think. There's some things he can improve on, obviously. And, of course, Morgan. I think he had a false start. He had a holding penalty maybe, but for the most part, Morgan played pretty well also. So for those guys being Morgan in his second year and Brandon in his first year, to go out there and perform in their first game together on the right side against Cameron Wake and Sue, I was impressed. And it's going to have to continue to get better because we play a very good front this week, and it's going to be another great challenge for them. And then the following week we play on a Thursday night against the Giants, and it's just a never-ending story for these offensive linemen. They have to continue to step up and get better, and I like where they are in their progression.
Jay, with Desean out, how do you plan to stretch defenses and stretch the field for your offense and kind of create some space out there for your running game?
Yeah, we think the receivers we have, Jameson can run, obviously. Ryan Grant can do some things, and obviously Ross had an excellent preseason. He's got, excellent speed also. And so we have to, utilize them. That's the only option we have. So those guys got to step up and make some plays. They might have to double move some people as opposed to just running by them. So there's a lot of things that you can do, but it starts up front. We need the good protection to get those deep shots, and we got to feel good about our protection. And this will be another great challenge with Aaron Donald and Robert Quinn and the St. Louis Rams defense. So we'll have to figure out a way to take some shots because it's very hard against the St. Louis Ram defense to go 15 plays, 80 yards, you know what I mean? So we're going to have to find ways to get some chunks of yards somehow.
Jay, Bashad mentioned having to shake off the rust in that final preseason game, and with him not being able to play this week, how critical is missing that time? Do you feel comfortable with where he'll be physically, conditioning-wise?
Breeland? I feel pretty good. You know, I think he was rusty in that last preseason game. That's why he played. He had a couple, plays that he did look rusty. So, and then he missed all week of practice last week. So we got to get him a good week of practice. You know, Wednesday's going to be a big day for him. Thursday will be a big day, and Friday. So I think he understands the defense. He feels good about where he is mentally. It's just a matter of going out there and playing and running and staying in the game. And he might have to play some corner, might have to play some nickel. And that's hard on a second-year guy with a new system. But we have high expectations for Bree. He's a smart kid, and he will compete. But only time will tell if he's rusty or not.
Yesterday, Jordan Reed worked underneath. You had him spread out. Is it safe to say that that's the Jordan Reed you guys have been expecting to see?
Yeah, you know, Jordan played well. You know, there's some plays that Jordan needs to clean up, though, without a doubt. And we're happy we're Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed's a great athlete, and he's a good mismatch against all safeties and linebackers. We feel like he could beat them all. But, you know, there's some things he'll clean up, and we will continue to utilize Jordan. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to continue to work on his blocking, and he's got a chance to be, you know, one of the top tight ends in this league if he can continue to play with some consistency and get a little bit better at the point of attack.
Jay, as you looked over the tape and I'm sure looked at the penalties, was there any general theme or takeaway or anything that strikes you that you all can focus on this week to cut down?
Yeah, we have to clean up the penalties, no question. You know, we can send some in the league. We don't think they were penalties or that were called, whatever, but they were called, and that's something we have to clean up. We had way too many 1st and 20, 2nd and 25s. I mean, we had a couple opportunities there to really change field position or get points, and we didn't because of the penalties. So we got to clean up our hands at receiver and tight end. We had 2 by tight ends, I believe, and you know, 1 by an offensive lineman, and we just got to continue to clean them up.
Jade, when you mentioned yesterday about guys not hanging their heads, about thinking, here we go again. When you went back and watched the tape, did you see that for 60 minutes, what you thought you saw yesterday?
I did. You know, I'm nobody's happy when you lose a football game, and I'm not going to stand up here and say rah-rah that, hey, we lost but we competed. That's not the goal here. But I do have optimism for where we're going as a football team. I do. I feel like our defense played hard. You know, there's some plays, obviously, that, you know, we might have had a mental here, a missed tackle here or there, but I feel like they were flying to the football. And offensively, you know, to rush for over 100 yards against Miami was exciting, and I think Kirk did some great things. So I want to build on the positive. And we'll coach the negative, but I want to build on the positive, and I think we have a lot of things to look forward to for this season based on our performance week 1.
Tress blamed himself, excuse me, for the long punt return. I think the guy had like 20-some yards before anybody was anywhere near him. What else did you see on that? Was it just a matter of that, or were there guys getting out of their lanes as well?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. You know, you can outkick your coverage, and Tress probably did that. But we did have a couple guys out of our lanes. Our gunner got pinned on the outside. He couldn't get off a block. And it's just a matter of once the ball is kicked, we got to get off blocks better. And we got to have some good lane integrity. We had neither. We didn't get off blocks. We missed a couple tackles down there. And like I said yesterday, you give Jarvis Landry that much room to work this week. We got another good one. So we got to make sure we get it cleaned up. Tavon Austin's probably the best in the league, if not top 5, you know, so it's something that we have to address. We have to get the better hang time, obviously, and we got to get off blocks, and our flyers got to do a better job also.
Jay, just how deflating were those special teams mistakes, the punt return, the missed field goal for your team?
It is deflating. You know, I'm not going to stand up here and you look around the league. A lot of those happened throughout the league that I saw, so it's just something that we have to continue to work on. You know, we got to flip that script. You know, we have to get some of those. We have to change the momentum in our favor. It seems like last couple of years, the kickoff returns have gone against us. The punt returns have gone against us. The block punts have gone against us. We have to start doing that ourselves, blocking some punts, returning some kicks. and it's going to take work, and these guys have got to come out and buy into what they're doing on special teams, and I think we're coaching them up well. We got to coach better, and we obviously got to play better, but we got to do better on special teams.
Jay, we know Rashad Ross can run. He has that top-end speed, and that can help replace Desean. But how comfortable are you with him doing the other stuff, blocking and all the other responsibilities a receiver has?
Yeah, we'll see. I like Rashad. I like Ross's approach. His approach, the whole training camp has been good. You know, we had him last year, and he was a little bit all over the place, not sure who to block. Routes were short. He showed great speed and all that stuff. But this year he came in with a great mental approach as far as learning the system, where to line up, how to line up the routes. He was very sharp on all his cuts, in breaking routes, out breaking routes, go balls, posts, all that. So I was very impressed with him, and he's done a better job in the run game. But, you know, throwing him out there against the St. Louis Rams, how much, how often, how will he do, we'll see. You know, we have a couple of days of practice, see how much we can get out of him. But worst case, he can be a good kickoff returner. He's an excellent kickoff returner also for us.
How close was Anthony McCoy to playing Sunday in terms of being ready?
Very close. You know, we get a good 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday practice, and hopefully we'll get him a good package where he can go.
Jay, Ryan Kerrigan was a little bit hard on himself post-game. Didn't think he had a very good game. What did you guys see on film? And I know, obviously, he was shaking off some rust as well.
Yeah, you know, that's the whole thing about preseason. You say, hey, don't play him because he's a star. Play him because he needs it. He'll be rusty for week one. So that's the dilemma that you have as a coach and as a player. We thought it was important to keep him out coming off that knee injury and want him fresh for week one. And he probably was a little bit rusty, but, you know, he still played with great tenacity, had a couple good plays. You know, had a half a sack. But Ryan's expectations for himself are very high. Obviously, ours for him are very high, and he'll never be satisfied. If he has 5 sacks, he'll want 6 or 7. And, you know, we just know that he's a great player for us, and he'll get better.
So just to clarify real quick, if Ross is active, you would anticipate him returning kicks?
Yeah, him and Chris both can do it, but we like the way Ross does it.